Imagine walking barefoot into a grand stone hall. Steam curls up from a vast heated pool. The air reeks of lavender oil and warm rock. Around you, half-naked figures drift in and out of shimmering waters, chatting, laughing, unwinding. This is ancient Rome's pride, the public bathhouse. But what if I told you this place, the crown jewel of Roman culture, was silently killing everyone inside? Beneath that graceful surface is a lurking horror. The bath water went unchanged for days. The floors were slick with oil, sweat, and blood, and the water itself, thick with human grime, feces, urine, open sores, and secretions from hundreds of strangers, all swirling in the same heated brew. You weren't cleansing your body in these baths. You were soaking in a slow-moving plague. And yet to skip the baths was social ruin. If you were Roman, you had to attend, even if it meant stepping into a viral death trap. That's just the beginning. Because in this video, I'm going to show you the filthy side of Roman hygiene. From sponge sticks passed between strangers to women smearing Gladiator sweat on their cheeks to an empire unknowingly poisoning itself one bath at a time. We glorify the Romans, but this is the version your teacher never mentioned. Stick around, and by the end you'll realize Caesar himself lived filthier than you do now. Before we go deeper, answer this in the comments. What's the most unsettling historical fact you've ever heard? I read every reply, and the best one will be pinned. And if you're daring enough to finish this video, hit subscribe, because next time we're uncovering why so many Roman rulers died sitting on the toilet. The baths of Caracalla were among the largest ever constructed. They could hold 1,600 bathers at a time. Inside, they felt like palaces, vaulted ceilings, marble pillars, fountains of steaming water. But don't let the beauty deceive you. These were not places of health. They were breeding grounds for disease. Now ask yourself, how often do you think they replaced the water? Answer, maybe once a week, if that. Every single day, thousands of naked bodies waded into the same pool. They didn't use soap either. Romans believed olive oil was superior. You'd smear it all over yourself, work up a sweat, and then scrape it off with a curved metal tool called a strigil. Where did the muck go? Onto the floor, or worse, back into the pool. That water became a greasy, murky stew. By midday, slaves would sweep up the sludge, oil, sweat, flakes of skin, even a little blood, and dump it outside. But the next crowd didn't wait. They jumped straight in. By nightfall, the water was dark, cloudy, and foul-smelling. No one cared. Why? Because going to the baths was expected. Not by law, but by society. Emperors bathed. Senators bathed. If you refused, you were labeled dirty, suspicious, maybe dangerous. Cleanliness wasn't about health. It was about reputation. So Romans soaked in infection and called it refinement. Now, let's talk beauty. You might picture Roman women using crushed pearls or fragrant oils. But the truth is far stranger. One of the most prized beauty products in ancient Rome was gladiator sweat. Yes, really. After a brutal fight in the arena, a gladiator would be covered in blood, dust, and perspiration. Slaves scraped it off with a strigil and collected the mixture in little glass vials. Those vials were sold to wealthy Roman women as face cream. They believed the sweat of a fighter made them more fertile, alluring, even powerful. One seller in Pompeii advertised authentic gladiator scrapings, the essence of victory. Some women even drank it, and they weren't alone. Other luxury treatment included crocodile dung facials, mouse brain toothpaste, and hair dye made from fermented urine. You heard right. They soaked their hair in pee to make it blonde. And not just any pee. They preferred Iberian urine imported from Spain, as the herbs in the local diet made it more potent. So the next time you think the ancient world was glamorous, remember, Rome's idea of beauty came from the arena drain. While Romans believed they were cleaning themselves, the truth was grimmer. According to forensic archaeologists, bathhouse patrons carried some of the nastiest parasites in history. Microscopic remains from bath drains show eggs of roundworms, whipworms, and fish tapeworms. Some of these could grow over 30 feet inside the body. One Roman medical text describes a cure for worms. Starve yourself for 2 days, then place warm milk near your lips and wait. If lucky, the worm would crawl out seeking food. That wasn't folklore, that was medicine. Even worse, the communal pools were heated, perfect for bacteria. Studies of Roman skeletons reveal those who lived near bathhouses had more bone infections and skin diseases than those in early ages. The baths didn't clean them, they sickened them. Still, Romans didn't stop going. They couldn't. Some thought the warm water healed them. They'd linger for hours in that reeking soup, rubbing on more oil, feeding the filth. And the water itself? The aqueducts were engineering wonders. But their pipes carried death. Why? The Romans built them from lead, soft, easy to work, and deadly toxic. Water for baths, fountains, and homes passed through miles of lead piping. Over time, the metal seeped into everything. Their wine was sweetened with lead acetate. Their makeup was loaded with it. Even their cookware was laced with it. Lead poisoning destroys organs, causes hallucinations, infertility, seizures, and madness. Some historians think it explains why so many Roman emperors went insane. Caligula believed he was a god. Nero set his own city on fire and sang as it burned. Perhaps they weren't only cruel, perhaps they were poisoned. Every bath, every sip of wine was a drip of insanity. Rome wasn't just toppled by enemies. It was corroded from within. Here's the tragic irony. The Romans built some of the greatest public works in history. Aqueducts, baths, sewers, centuries ahead of their time. But they didn't grasp one thing, how illness spreads. They soaked in filthy water thinking it made them pure. They shared wiping sponges. They brushed their teeth with fermented urine. They feasted on rotting fish sauce. They even turned filth into a weapon. Emperor Caracalla once invited his foes to a banquet and served them poisoned dishes disguised as delicacies. And so Rome collapsed bit by bit, not only to politics or war, but to biology. A society that worshipped cleanliness drowned in its own ignorance. So tonight, as you brush with mint toothpaste, wash with real soap, and flush in privacy, remember, you live cleaner than the richest Roman emperor ever did.